What's going on, guys? Is Ranger Flame, and welcome everyone to a new episode of Black Clover. Today we're on episode 23, and in this episode it literally just kind of continues off, with the arc that's going on right now of the Clover Kingdom that is under attack, followed by Ra. He's, controlling all these zombies to, attack the humans, to attack the mages, and to just rule over the Clover Kingdom. And in this episode, I would say disappointing is the right word. Just because watching throughout the whole episode, and I don't want this to just be me, I'm hoping I'm saying the right words right here, is it was really poorly animated. You see throughout the whole episode of if it's Asta, if it's Leo, if it's Noelle, or just any other character, especially Ra a lot, it was just really poorly animated, and I was kind of disappointed because sometimes, we get these kind of glimpses here and there throughout some episodes or even anime in general, but it really just went through kind of the whole episode. There was some badass animation that was really cool, but most of the episode, though, it was just poorly animated, and I was really disappointed about it. I wouldn't say the episode's bad. It just, if you're bringing out an audience, you at least gotta make the animation good. You can't just leave one episode, hanging like this. But, yeah, we'll just kind of get into the episode, what it was about, and etc. like that. This episode, it's still, Asta versus Ra right now. He brings out, Alfred. I'm pretty sure he was number 2. He has, kind of 4 sidekicks, or 4 of his, power that he could really use. Asta defeated the first one, and now he brings up Alfred right here. Kind of, I would say the quarter of the episode is just kind of Asta versus him, and then Leo and, Noelle try to come and save him, or try to support him. But then, I'm pretty sure Ra brings out, I think it's number 4 now. I think 3 was the other one, so 4, or this one could be 3. But we don't even have his name. They all have these kind of silly names, or just kind of just a name. Here, it's, special ability is Muddy Water, so Leo really doesn't have a chance against it, and Noelle's magic is water as well, so it's kind of them battling this guy, Asta versus Alfred and Ra. And then we have Leon this episode, and Leon is just a badass character in general. He's really grown on me as one of my favorites, in the anime so far, and we literally just met him. We met him, it was at episode 4 or 3 during, the Magic Knight trial that, and Asta went. We saw, him a little bit in his chair, looking over people so that they could recruit them to the Magic Knights. But, Leon in this episode is just so supportive, and I feel like he's definitely up there with Yami. I like Yami just a little bit better, but Leon is really close to, Yami as, I guess the best Magic Knight that we know so far. We have the other ones from the Silver Eagles and the Blue Roses. I'm pretty sure that's what the female Magic Knight squad is called, the Blue Roses, if I do remember. But yeah, Leon, I just love his support and what he gives to Asta, and he does have pretty badass moments. And this when he's helping Asta out, he defeats Alfred like that. Literally his flame magic just destroys Alfred, and number 2 is gone right there, and even Ra was surprised about that. And what I like about this is, Asta wants to prove himself, as a Magic Knight. His goal is to become the Wizard King someday. And, even though he's injured, even though he has a big, wound on his cheek, he has a big wound on his, stomach or his chest area, and he's still surviving, knowing Asta and his character is not giving up. Naruto reference if you want to post it right there. But, he keeps fighting because, he wants to protect the Clover Kingdom, and he wants to prove to people that even though if you don't have magic, you could become someone great and someone that, people could look up to. And I love that Leon saw that in Asta. He even says, sorry that I had to ruin this fight right here. And he gives Asta credit as well, in this episode of, him wanting to become the Wizard King. And knowing from, Leo's character, he's always, a hype guy and he wants to be Asta's rival. Even Leon says that to him as well. And we see that from Leon, that he wants to become the Wizard King as well. He wants to prove himself. And sees, himself with Asta, as a character. Their goal is to become, the Wizard King, to protect Clover Kingdom. And I just love it that Leon's character is like that, and he really understands Asta. It's like him being, if that's a good reference to, another character, knowing Asta well and what his dreams are going towards. And, he even finds out without Yami as well. Yami was the one that recruited him. He saw potential in Asta to be someone great. And, Leon understands that. He's like, damn, Yami, I chose Asta to become a member of the Black Bulls, Magic Knights. And, I just like that. So now we get to the point where it's Leon versus Raw right here. He brings out his number 1, Carl, I do believe he's called. It's really silly names. His kind of magic is him making a barrier around Raw. That's kind of his power, I guess. Alfred was lightning, the other one was curse magic. This one was muddy water, and then he has the barrier. It's supposed to be an unbelievable barrier, and Leon is definitely a smart guy as well. He's definitely someone I feel like is really close to becoming the Wizard King, because knowing from his enemy's attacks, just a little bit, like just a minute that we get in this episode, he discovers his enemy's weakness, and he just completely destroys him. He destroys Carl, and Raw has no defense right now. He's completely vulnerable, and Leon is winning the match. And it's crazy that, if I could put to another character from an anime, it's definitely like I feel like Shikamaru. Like Shikamaru from Naruto, I feel like that's kind of what Leon is for, I guess, smart people if you look at it. He just from a little bit of a fighting, a minute or 2 minutes that we get from this episode, he figures out what, the weaknesses of his enemy, and he destroys it like that. And I like it how Leon's character is like that. And he also said this towards Asta as well about giving him advice. Is, sometimes, it's good not to, not give up. Not giving up is a great thing. But you also got to know your power and when to, kind of sit down and relax. And he gives that motivation to Asta. He has an open wound, in his cheek and his stomach. He's bleeding all over the place. He's got to calm down. He needs to heal. And then he could fight again. But also when you're in a battle as well, don't stress out and be calm about it. Think of what your enemy is doing, and you could find the secret to beating him. And that's what Leon gets in this episode. And it's kind of, I feel like it's dedicated to him in this episode, just because it is the Crimson Lion. Like, I think that was the title of today's episode. But yeah, it's like that. So I guess 3 of them are destroyed right now. Probably in the next episode we're gonna have Leo and Noel. Maybe Asta's gonna help them out as well. Defeat the muddy water guy, which we haven't got his name yet, but he's probably going to defeat them. And then there it is right there. And it's kind of like all sunshine now. And I guess kind of the dark part in this episode was this was really just a diversion to something that's going to be even bigger. So I think Raw was just a diversion, and then something big is going to happen, which we get in the preview. We get this kind of witch girl that, smiles at the end. We don't really know her character yet. And that was it right there. And I guess kind of the funny part, I guess I could talk about in this anime as well, is we get a little bit of Charmy. We see Charmy last episode of her kind of sneaking her way to the Royal Hall, and now she wants to eat more food that this cooking guy, this magic cooking guy, is building, and Charmy's just eating it all up. It's always comedy and Black Clover, and we get it in today's episode with her. And kind of another thing I should put this out as well is we get to meet the Cane today. We get to meet the Cane of the Clover Kingdom, not just a Wizard King. There's a Cane here as well. I kind of forget his name. I'll have the image. I'll post it on the screen. You guys will know what his character is. I kind of forget, but I feel like in this anime it's kind of like a torch. Like, how when we first met Klaus, he was a douchebag, thinking to himself, he despised, as a character, but now he likes, he despised Asta as a character, and now he likes Asta. And, Klaus is kind of an alright character now. I feel like the douche torch went to the Cane, and the Cane is like, he really is a douchebag. We've seen in this episode of what his personality is like. He's wondering where the Wizard King is, and the Wizard King's servant or his right hand man is saying, we're in trouble right now. The Clover Kingdom is under attack. We have the Magic Knights, we have just the mages, and we have the Wizard King. We don't really know where the Wizard King is, but they're all fighting to protect the Clover Kingdom here. It's up in flames, people are dying. You gotta understand that. But the King was like, nah, I don't really care about them. I just want the Wizard King. His sole duty is to protect me. I don't care about anything else. And that's kind of what his character is. And, I really don't like that. Just for a Cane of the Clover Kingdom, I feel like you gotta look and protect your people. No, he doesn't really give a crap about that. He just kind of wants to survive and live in a paradise. Like, that's just kind of what he is. It's a rich paradise. That's kind of what the Cane is. And yeah, so we learn, I guess, a new character, and that's him right there. And the douche torch has passed on to the Cane of the Clover Kingdom. That was today's episode here today. It was, I guess, a little exciting. you know, I'm not gonna fail this episode. You know, I still kind of enjoyed it. You know, what Leon. I feel like if you look at this episode today, Leon saved it for me. Like his character and what he did against Raw, Alfred, and Carl. You know, he definitely was the MVP. If you go look at MVP as one character, that was him. But just the animation really bugged me. And I feel like a lot of people, if you watch this review and watch this episode, you could relate to what I'm talking about. And I don't know, it just kind of really went down to me. I'm kind of hoping it's better for next episode. It does look better in the next preview for episode 24, and I think we're gonna get a new opening as well. I'm pretty sure for next episode. I think it's gonna be a new opening. I'm not too sure yet, but with my rating today's episode, guys, I think I'm just gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It's one of those episodes where I feel like I could go back to it, but it's not gonna be for a while. Like I said, I feel like just Leon made this episode, and I'm just hoping that, next week's episode can be better, hopefully, but that's just me in general and discussing this review. Much love. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for checking out this review of Black Clover. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button and comment down below what your guys' favorite part of this episode was here today. But much love. Have a good day, guys. And we'll see you next week for another Black Clover review. Much love. Have a good day.